Dear students, how are you? Hope that all are well by the grace of Almighty God. I am also well. However, today I will discuss about changing of the voice. Before starting our class, I would like to share with you about the voice, that is active voice and passive voice. How will you identify the active voice and passive voice? It's known to you that one of the two voices of verbs, when the verb of a sentence is in the active voice, the subject is doing and acting as in the sentence. That is active voice. Suppose if I write, I play football. I play football. Here you see that the subject of the subject of the sentence acts in relation to the football. Here it is subject and it is verb, and if we ask the verb, the answer we get, that is by asking what or whom the verb, the answer what will we get, that is object. Here football is object. In this sentence, I play football. Here the subject is doing the acting in the sentences. In this case, we can say that it is an active voice. In later part, the passive voice. A verb in the passive voice, when the subject of the sentence is acted on by the verbs. Here I wrote, I play football and football is played by me. Here football is played by me. The subject receives the action of the verb and was played is in the passive voice. That is active and it is passive voice. Subject, verb and object. And when we will make it passive, that times we have to flow in the where is used in object, and you have to format, you have to change the formation, that is the subjective form will be the objective form and the objective form would be the subjective form. Here football, that is subject, verb and object. Here football is used as a subject, and in the sentences, in the case of assertive sentence, we have to follow some rules and regulation, that is subject, and here you see two verbs, is and played. Two verbs, here is auxiliary verb and it is principal verb. We know if the two verb stays beside, that's the first verb is considered as auxiliary verb and the next verb is principal verb. Here we see that is football is subject, is here is used as auxiliary verb and played as used as principal verb, and later by, and in the subjective case I, here used as an objective case, that is subjective case. Here in the forms of passive voice it has been used as a passive voice. We will use me, and that is the preposition. So before going to know the voice, we have to follow some rules, that is active to passive in the case of assertive sentence, subject, verb and object or extension. That is the formation of active sentence and the passive. And the passive sentence, firstly you have to find out where is the object is used, and you have to complete in the passive voices. Objective case here will be used is a subjective case, that is object, and auxiliary verb. Later principal verb. Here PV3, that means the formation of principal verbs V1 present form or base form, V2 past form and V3 past participle form, that is past participle form, and by, with, at, to. In some cases you have to use with, at, to, and the later part is subject, that is subject. Already I have showed an example. I play football, and when it turns into passive form, that is football is played by me. However, now I am going to give a structure of assertive sentences. What will you do? What will you do in the changing of voices from active to passive and passive to active? What types of rules that will you follow in the cases of changing of voices? That is indefinite sentences. Firstly, you have to write subject, letter, am, is, are, was, were, am, is, are, was, were, shall be, will be, shall be, will be. Am is a oblique, was were or shall be, will be, plus PB3 plus by, with, at, to, plus object or extension if need. If in the cases of have any extension, you will use in extension at the last part of the sentences. In the case of assertive sentence, in indefinite tense, firstly you have to flow the subject, and am is used in the case of present indefinite tenses. Present indefinite tenses. And was were will be used in past tenses. And shall be will be used in future tenses. And the last part, PB3, here you see PB3 and by, with, at and object. This is the rules of present indefinite tenses. And continuous tense, continuous tenses, subject plus am, is, are, oblique, was, were, shall, be, will, be. Here you have used PB3, but in the case of continuous tense, you have to use being before PB3. Being, B-E-I-N-G, plus PB3, and by or with or object. So, in the sentences of present indefinite tense, that is subject, am is, was, shall be, will be. In adding, being in the continuous tenses. So it is present continuous. When we will complete the sentences from active to passive in continuous tenses, we will follow the rules, that is subject, am is, not was, not shall be, will be, only am is, and being plus PB3 plus by, with, at or to plus object, that is present continuous tenses. In past continuous tenses, when we will complete the sentence, we will change the formation of sentences. What types of rule we will follow? That is subject and past continuous tense, was, not am is. Past continuous tense, subject, was, plus being, plus PB3, plus by, with, at, to, plus object. In the case of future continuous tense, subject, am is, was or not in use in the sentences, you will use only subject plus shall be or will be plus being plus PB3 plus by, with, at, to plus object. This is the continuous tenses. In perfect tense, subject, plus have or has, oblique had, oblique shall have or will have. In perfect tenses, object plus have, has, present perfect tenses, past perfect tense, subject plus had, future perfect tense, subject plus shall have or will have plus been. In perfect tenses, here been plus PB3 plus by with object. If we compare and contrast in continuous to perfect tense, we will see here is used being, but in perfect tense, instead of being, here is used been. The fundamental difference between continuous tense and perfect tense. Let us try to know perfect continuous tense. Perfect continuous tense. Subject plus have, has. In perfect continuous tenses, the difference between the perfect and perfect continuous tense, that is have, has, had, shall, have, will, have. Subject plus have, has, had, shall have, will have. And perfect continuous tense, been, perfect, been, continuous, been, plus PB3 plus by with object. In perfect continuous tenses, that is present perfect continuous tenses. In the case of had, past perfect continuous tenses. Shall have, will have, future perfect continuous tenses. The difference between perfect and perfect continuous tenses, in the case of perfect continuous tenses, we have added being after been. We have added being after been. The advanced learners and students, probably you have understood what I have delivered, what I have showed in the whiteboard, blackboard about the changing of voices, and I hope that it is clear to you, and you will be able to know what I have exposed in front of you in online class, and I firmly believe that you will participate all classes of English class from Bagarpur Degree College, and I expect that you will stay at home in the crucial moment of coronavirus. Thank you everybody for joining my online class. Best wishes.